You've watched the videos, read the books, saved the quotes, maybe even had a moment where everything felt clear. And then, like it always does, it slipped. So you go searching again. New teacher, new method, new explanation, another late night, another tab open, another promise that this will be the one. But what if the reason you can't find the answer is because the one who's searching is the only thing blocking it? Because here's the loop almost nobody notices they're in. You feel a lack, something is missing. So you search for something to fill it, an idea, an experience, a breakthrough. You get a hit of hope, like a spark. And for a moment, you feel closer. Then the mind quietly asks the next question. Okay, but what's the next step? And the searching continues. Not because you're failing, but because the act of searching itself is designed to continue. Let's name the thing that keeps this running. The seeker. The seeker is not some mystical entity. It's not a demon. It's not a flaw. It's a mental strategy. A self-image that believes, I will be okay once I become something else. The seeker lives in the future. It feeds on improvement. It turns life into a staircase, and it always places peace one step ahead. Just look at the language it uses. When I finally understand, once I heal this, after I awaken, when I become more disciplined, when I stop thinking. Notice the structure. Peace is always postponed. And here's the twist. The seeker can never reach the thing it's looking for, because what it's looking for is already here, before thought. The seeker is like a person running toward the horizon. The faster they run, the further it seems, not because they're slow, but because the horizon isn't a destination. There's also a reason this feels so convincing. Your brain rewards seeking. Novelty, new information, a new framework. It creates a real sense of movement. That's why a new explanation can feel like salvation for 24 hours. It's not that the insight was fake. It's that the mind quickly turns it into another ladder. Because the mind doesn't actually want an ending. An ending threatens the seeker's job. If you truly found what you were looking for, the seeker, your identity as the one who is becoming, would dissolve. So the system does what it always does. It generates a new problem, a new question, a more subtle version of not there yet. And now we get to the uncomfortable part. The part where things actually change. Searching has a hidden payoff. It protects you from being here. Because being here means feeling what you've been avoiding. Grief, uncertainty, loneliness, meaninglessness, anger, or even the simple vulnerability of not knowing. Searching can be a sophisticated form of avoidance dressed as growth. It looks productive. It sounds wise. It even gets you compliments. But under it, there's often a refusal to meet this moment as it is. And when you finally see that, you stop romanticizing your restlessness. You start noticing the exact moment the seeker turns on, like a reflex. So how do you catch it in real time? You don't fight it. Fighting it gives it energy. You don't feed it either. Feeding it turns it into a lifestyle. You simply recognize it. And then you ask a question that doesn't give the seeker what it wants. Ask this, slowly. Right now, what is actually missing in this moment? Before thought labels it. And then wait. Not for an intellectual answer. Not for a spiritual answer. for a direct look. In that direct look, what you usually find is surprising. Breath is here, sound is here, sensation is here, awareness is here. Life is already happening without your permission. The problem wasn't the moment. The problem was the story about the moment. Because the seeker is built out of story. It's built out of time. And what it's searching for can only be recognized now. This is the cleanest way to frame it. The seeker is a thought. Awareness is what notices the thought. Thought says, I need to get somewhere. Awareness says nothing, and yet it's undeniably present. That's the turning point. You don't end searching by finding the perfect answer. You end searching by recognizing what never needed an answer. Not as a belief, not as a philosophy you repeat, as a direct recognition. Now here's the part almost everyone misses. The seeker will try to steal this too. It will say, okay, so how do I stay in awareness forever? And the moment that question appears, the seeker is back in charge, because it has turned presence into a project. So instead of making this into a new identity, keep it simple. Use a reset you can do anywhere, quietly, in 10 seconds. First, notice you're searching, not as a failure, just as a fact. Second, feel one raw sensation, the weight of your hands, the pressure in your feet, the breath moving. Third, ask, what is aware of this? That's it. No fireworks, no spiritual performance, no war with your mind, just a return to what's already here. Before the seeker starts building a future, do it in the middle of your day, while you're washing dishes, waiting for a message, standing in an elevator, right before you click the next video. Because the goal isn't to escape life, it's to stop using seeking to escape life. If you've been searching for years, it doesn't mean you're broken. It means your mind is doing what it was trained to do. Create a me that's always almost there. But the truth is brutal and beautiful. What you're looking for is the looking. And when you see that clearly, the search doesn't end in fireworks. It just becomes unnecessary. So here's the real question. If you stopped searching right now, what would you have to finally feel? And could you let that be here, without turning it into a problem to solve?